Sue was on the COVID list yesterday. Suck up. In some ways, even if these guys are vaccinated, is it more concerning in a sense that you can get this thing anywhere, right? So how concerned are you about the virus this season?
Well, the virus issue is concerning because everybody has very, very mild symptoms, things that you wouldn't miss a day of work with in your life. Right. But now you're out 10 days. So that's got me concerned that, that it can be transmitted that easily. But I might sneeze and I test positive. So that's the biggest concern for me right now.
Yeah. Do you know what his status or anybody else's will be at this point? Do you think you'll have him back for Dallas?
Oh yeah. I mean, 10 days is still the maximum, so we'll have everybody back. But now these 4 days off, and retesting now with the new protocol, who knows? Right.
And last night you mentioned there's some rookies that it might have looked too big for them still. I know Jalen Darden's one of those guys that you counted on. How did he do in the return game? And of course, you mentioned the one miscommunication there with Gabbert.
Yeah, the return game wise, he's fine. We've got to block for him better, give him a chance. But he showed his speed, getting around the corners and doing some of those things. Receiver wise, he's still learning the nuances of different coverages. You run this route versus that and this and that, so the dependability there still isn't quite as where it can be. When he knows what he's doing, it's impressive. We just got to do a better job of getting him to know what he's doing.
Gotcha.
We'll go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce. I know last night you were hesitant to kind of say who might have helped themselves the most in terms of guys on the bubble until you've been able to look at kind of the full tape, if you will. Given the chance to do that, who stands out to you? Who helped themselves last night?
I guess the only one that really stood out was D. Delaney. That really helped himself. We're still in the process of evaluating those last 5 spots, but he helped his cause.
And that's on special teams as well as in the secondary?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Bruce.
You bet.
We'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, along the lines of what Rick was asking, I was reading the COVID protocols for 2021, and for teams that are in hot spots like Tampa Bay, coaches do have, from my understanding, the authority to kind of enact stricter rules, which it seems like you've done that as far as travel goes. What about, though, when your guys are home and when the regular season begins? Have you thought about what kind of rules you're going to be enacting for that?
Yeah, when we reconvene as the Bucs in a few days, our guys are very, very aware of the situation and are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that it doesn't affect our team.
And I understand that the Titans, they have enacted some rules of their own, wearing masks indoors mandatory. I know Kevin Garver had said that, his choice was to wear a mask inside. I didn't know if that's something you're going to be requiring or if you're going to have any additional requirements.
It's something we'll talk about as a team. And we're definitely going back to last year's meetings where we're all spread out because our facility is so good we can do that. That's the biggest thing as far as masks. Until I'm ready to wear one, then I won't require anybody else to wear one.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go over to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Bruce, just wanted to get your final preseason assessment of Keyshawn Vaughn as a runner, as a returner, and as a gunner on punt coverage.
As a runner, he's fine. And he did a heck of a job as a gunner. His return ability is up in the air. He's more of a running back looking for a hole instead of just hitting it as a kick returner. But he gets us out of a ball game. He's a good off returner for sure because he will block.
Did you see some more growth from Joe Tryon-Shoyinka in terms of not just getting to the quarterback, but the strip sack, and then also making a play on the quarterback after dropping in coverage and forcing an errant throw with the big hit on Davis Mills?
I mean, he's been doing all those things that ever since day one. It's staying in his gap in the in the running game is his biggest problem right now.
Thanks, Bruce.
We'll go to Joey Knight.
Coach, through 3 games, your second team offense hasn't really done a whole heck of a lot. Is that a concern for you right now, just them collectively as a unit?
Not really, because I hope they don't play.
And the other thing, y'all had to circumvent a pretty nasty storm on the way home. Just wonder what time y'all got back, or did that affect your travel?
Yeah, it set us back. I was 45, 50 minutes. It wasn't crazy.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go over to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Bruce, can you just describe, because obviously last year was such an anomaly where there was no real preseason, but then this year compared to other years, it's a little bit different now with this gap between that third game and then you guys starting on Thursday night. So can you just kind of describe what this sort of time period is like as compared to other years when it was the regular way we all knew it and players knew it?
Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons no one played anybody in the fourth preseason game. It was too close to the opener. Having this break, I'm not really a big fan, mainly probably because of COVID, of having these mandatory 4 days off. I mean, yeah, I'm okay with the 4 days off, but with COVID, it's a little bit different, being able to leave town and all those things. So, but it's not that big of a deal. You know, you get a couple extra practices to get ready for it, and then have another day off and then get back into a regular season. So not depending on that many rookies, we're okay because we're a pretty veteran team.
All right, we'll go back to Rick Stroud.
Hey, Bruce, I was just wondering how Alex Kappa played and if that's still a battle at right guard.
No, Cap probably graded out the highest of the offensive line. He had a really good ball game. So that's pretty solidified. And, Aaron is much better on the right side than he is the left, but he's got a bunch of left side snaps. So he did get better that way. So we're very confident in both those guys.
And I know, the second series there, you went to kind of the no huddle. Tom was calling plays. You guys get them in the line of scrimmage, like a 2-minute, I guess it would be. Was that just to get things jump started, or does that show what mastery, he has this year? I know he could do it last year too, right? But like that was about as surgical as I think I've seen them play in that situation.
Yeah, we did a little bit of it in Detroit last year, and something we always want to have. We've been working on it. We also, can run the ball out of it a lot too. Whether Tom's calling them or Byron's calling them, it's just a matter of speed the game up, get some up tempo work, and Byron calls most of them, but it's Tom really operates it fast now. I mean, all the words mean something for him now, where they didn't. What the hell did that mean last year? And so it's a lot easier.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll go back to Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, I just want to check back with you on Jordan Whitehead. When we've asked you about him here in camp, you've always said that he's day-to-day, but by the time you guys come back on Thursday, it'll be more than 3 weeks that he's missed. Just want to ask you if you're still hopeful or optimistic he can be back and playing in week 1.
Very hopeful. And, we're seeing good progress, and we got our fingers crossed they don't make it.
Bruce, do you know what the timetable, or can you share, I guess, what the timetable is in terms of when you guys will start the process of winnowing down the roster?
We already started it, and we probably won't release anything till Tuesday, but we'll be meeting on it all day today.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
All right, go over to Karen Loftus.
Hey, Coach, on the heels of what Greg was saying about roster cuts, it seemed like there was a lot of extra effort out there. It looked like a lot of guys were really fighting for their spots. Were you pleased with the effort? Did you see that too?
Oh, there's definitely, there's a lot at stake in that ball game, especially going in that third and fourth quarter. I was happy the game was close, so guys could show themselves, and a couple guys did. So it was, everything it really couldn't have worked out any better in that ball game for us as far as the evaluation process.
All right, we'll go over to Jenna Lane. We have time for a few more.
Hey, Coach. Along the lines of what we were talking about a few moments ago with COVID, the NFL recommended to the NFLPA testing every 7 days as opposed to every 14 days. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it might help curtail some of these recent issues that you're seeing?
I don't think it'll help at all. I mean, I was fine with the other protocols. If your team's 100% vaccinated, I don't know why you have to test at all.
And also, you had mentioned for travel, no players going to restaurants, players, not seeing their families. Have you made decisions about those two things when your guys are going to be back home?
Here, no, that's
Yes.
that'll be a personal thing. Our guys are very, very smart on who to be with, where to be, and how to handle themselves. So whether or not they go to restaurants and those type of things, we'll talk about that at a later date.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, we'll close out with a question from Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Bruce, Robert Hainsey saw his first action for you guys in a game situation, struggled with a few snaps, but would he be your backup center for week 1, or would you go with a veteran like Ali Marpet sliding over if Ryan Jensen got hurt to start the season?
Yeah, we'd probably go with Ali and bring Aaron in, and just bring Hainsey along as slow as easy as we possibly can.
Thank you, Bruce.
Okay, that's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.